I'm gonna get straight to the point. Never played this game. No idea what it is. I know it's some kind of, I believe, Roman Imperial historical thing. Whatever. So I think it's a year or two old, and I guess we're just gonna dive into it. Phase in my hands. Well, that just means the world's gonna burn. Could not make decisions. Fuck.
Hey! You're alive!
Yeah.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up.
You mean
I checked your pockets for ID. A phone, maybe?
That's weird.
I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
Okay, which one's which? I can't tell. I'm gonna soup this. Where'd I go? Oh wow, you can just tell by the hands. Okay, never mind. Okay, that makes it. That's the guy. Oh, jeez. Considering I am white, I think. Player, Henry. Sounds good enough. Sounds good enough for me.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
Jesus. Here's a studying history. Okay. Soldier. You have a military should fire only 10 bullets. You have to use them judiciously since there's no way to get more. That's stupid. Your time on the run from authorities made you quick on your feet. Your recent head trauma has increased your pain threshold, make it. Huh. I guess I'll have to.
Really? You're a soldier? But why are you out of uniform? Oh, was it a black op?
I feel like I should
Are you
shoot
a soldier
her.
of fortune? You know what?
I'm telling her
Don't
this.
answer that. I don't think I want to know.
No, you don't. I
But
have to shoot you in the face.
this should be a piece of cake for someone like you. There are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think.
Okay.
I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse.
It's worse.
I would have gone in after him,
Yep.
but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him. So I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please? Oh,
Yeah, so
of
I
course.
ask some questions
Sorry,
first.
I don't mean to be pushy. I just... What do you want to know?
A lot. Where are
You
we?
really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
What's your
Oh,
story?
there's not much to tell.
That's a lie.
Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
No, I shoot people for a living.
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you. All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just
Your
that
eyes look like you're just.
I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
And I don't blink. I'm not gonna be a dick.
You're welcome. Always happy to help. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
You got with me.
He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did.
Okay.
I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But
killing him.
maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
With a bullet hole in his head. Yeah, I love people.
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al...
I mean,
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
it sounds a little bit weird.
Great.
Okay.
So you're ready to go look for Al?
Yeah, apparently.
Thank you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry.
Okay. Okay, you gotta move around town. I will say, this looks like a nice, beautiful game. What the oh. I was gonna say, what? I only have 10 bullets. Oh, that's trippy. Oh, very nice. Graphics look pretty good on it. For it being a 3-person made game. Nice. Oh god. I don't feel very good about this. So, sprint. I think sprint's not the best idea. I wonder if those 10 bullets, like if I waste all of them now, like there'd be like a part in the later campaign that I have to use one, or something like dies or some shit. Ooh. Wow, look at that. The cloud dune moving. You don't see that every day. What's this? Full of worn hiding clothes and a different building. I'll be here, but still seems to left it behind. Suspicious. Check it around here just to... Okay, can't check around that way. Okay, cool. This is the way it's just...
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged.
Fuck,
The
no.
virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold,
Oh, God.
but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place."
Feel weird.
Could an underground city have
Oh,
remained?
what the f... Oh, okay, that wasn't at all terrifying.
Have remained a secret for all this time?
What?
Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out.
Oh, that scared the living shit.
If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation, or
That's her.
a warning. Al Worth.
I don't like this. I feel like there's something like behind me or... It's just so trippy. Respect. Oppose a lamentation. What's lamentation? I don't know anything. Okay. You guys hear that? It's like a trippy ass sound. I can say that one now. There's nothing around here. That's true. Also true. I wonder if these people like turn into gold. Roman gladiator mid-stride. What could have made a gladiator flee? So yeah. Why are they gold? Why the fuck are they gold? What? Like on the wall or something? Wait, what's happened? I'm looting. See, like, what the fuck? Well, that means something behind this door. Oh, God. Game, can I move now? Thank you. Anything up there? Cool. That totally didn't scare me. There's begging for her. Okay, this is like a story. Jesus. Alright. Nice little cave. Okay. Huh? What? I'm just gonna keep my hand off the trigger button. So what happens if you don't choose to be a soldier? Do you just have like a normal flashlight? Or do you just have a flashlight at all? That's it. Guessing I have to be up there, so this is so trippy. So they're all running away from something. Then why was that gladiator running? Ugh. That's giving me so many chills.
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this.
Wait, what?
And worse, she'll suffer the same fate I did.
Huh?
I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. In here, there are only two options: death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right, and I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now and find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
What? I thought he was in here for an hour. If that. How does that make any sense? Unless just like time slowed down here or something? I don't know. It's kind of trippy. Alright. I was down now. I feel like pretty sure this is all in Latin, so only if I knew Latin, I'd be able to tell what the fuck they're saying. It's like stop moving. Don't. Ah, this must be the doorway, as I have heard of. Thanks for the tip. Quest journal. Wait, if I travel back in time, and I have a gun on me, how's that gonna work? What time period am I about to be traveled into? Fucking Roman soldiers, you get fucking Glock 18 on. That'd definitely be amazing. Oh. So I might not have my weapon. Or... Okay, that makes total sense. What? So we did travel back in time. Okay.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina? What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange. Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine? Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime? You're not from around here, are you?
I feel like now I can
And
lie.
you've just done it again. You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you, and what were you doing in that shrine?
I can't tell him that, 'cause This is Roman time.
Oh, is that right? Well, just make sure you don't get lost in any other sacred places you're not supposed to be.
I'm here.
Can't have you disrespecting the gods by accident, can
I
we
will
now?
shoot you in the
But
head.
listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for
No
breaking
lines.
it, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you
lying.
coming?
Fuck.
Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now. Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how. since
23 for
nobody
all
knows
of
the way out.
this.
But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend,
Ah.
Galerius?
Yeah.
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia.
No,
You're taking
no,
him to
don't
see
you
the
dare.
magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Really? Okay.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it
Nope.
and her, if I were you. She's...
What is she?
It's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
I'm not stupid.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since...
Is there a golden statue back
Well,
there?
you know, I don't know what happened to her.
Sorry, fucking fly.
Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic
Oh.
in the Shrine of Apollo.
Yeah, my gun's not going down there. Nope.
Most of us have almost nothing. Just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and
Statues?
scrounge up since.
I'm so
And this
lost.
central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live. So don't expect a warm welcome.
I will shoot.
Galerius, you're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
So were
What
you
was that?
also?
What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please. Follow me.
Alright. Guess I gotta be
The only thing you
compliant
really need to
now.
understand right now is the golden rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9.
Oh, another one
Didn't matter
fresh
whether
out
he'd
of the
done anything
baths,
wrong.
I take it.
Yeah.
One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the golden rule
101.
is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. He's up these stairs.
I feel like he's like some colorful, weird guy. He's not colorful. He's red. Hi.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your
The
name?
hair's old.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the posture of a military man, though your garments are most peculiar. I pray to Mars your skill set, but time will tell. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains many hundreds of years ago. Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own
22.
little paradise.
23.
And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin? Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here.
Wait,
All
is
that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
I feel like this is kind of spoiling it. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like somehow it's going to be me. Like, my character. Like, me and him are going to be trying to do something, and it's going to be one of us who does the sin.
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
That's so detailed. What is your legal? What is legal? In many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations. And when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate.
When were they?
Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. Bloodsport. Okay, so this is definitely... Okay, they're definitely taking a spin on this. Don't you practice collective punishment? Okay, yes, that is one. Persecute Christians, which historically, yes, they did. Women have fewer rights than men. This was all over the world at this point. I'm guessing this is obviously Roman era, so yeah. Blood sports, gladiators, slave ownership, yeah. This one.
You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that.
I've seen this from Roman's perspective.
Of course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well. On occasion. But our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm. Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands. Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Oh, jeez. So much more. What did you mean when you said resist that? No, I don't really care. Why can't you investigate? Yeah, why can't we understand you? No, that's not important if I do this. Do you have any suspects?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you
So you're
can't
useless.
see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
But yeah.
Well, all right. There
Okay,
are
that
those who wish
just-
to vote me
that
out of
doesn't
office
sound right.
so that
Go
they
from
can
here.
pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you. Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
Okay. So, first of all, keep thinking out there. But anyways, so it sounds. Or how to return your original time. Whoever brought me here can send me back. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, the one thing that seems very weird is how he said.
Whatever are you wearing?
Ah! Talk to you first.
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
I will shoot you.
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that? Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation? You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent God would let my sister go missing on his or her watch? Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing.
What?
That's what I thought. I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving. I suppose we will. Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone. I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies? It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love.
Oh.
We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it. I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me. That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock.
Wow.
He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her, so he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done. I don't know, but it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience.
Very true.
All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
What if it's her? Ooh, what if it is the guard? What is his name? Hereditas or something like that?
Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa, wasting energy? I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
I don't think she is.
Oh, you're awful. Get out of my villa and never
Oh, that was
speak
so
to me
wrong.
again.
That's fine. I'm still gonna help her though. If I can. I don't know if I can. Can I talk to her again? Was that like, am I allowed?
Do I need to ask Horatius to escort you out of here? Get out, you horrid barbarian!
Okay, well, I kind of ruined that relationship. Okay. So, her sister disappeared, so I think I should probably attempt to find out what happened to the other two people. Just thinking.
Are they?
Okay.
On your best behavior, I trust? What now? I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughter, I should say, and the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals. I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing all right for myself, 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some Genetricum Future tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose. Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, Scintilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit. I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Sure. I guess. Prison house. Died sister. Disappeared. I refuse to believe. Not to be trusted. Suffer Alice. Stranger to the villa. Huh.
Of course. All right.
Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
If you're trying to goad me into an argument, it won't work. I'm a stoic, remember?
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter safe, how can anyone trust him to keep us safe, eh?
Why do I get the feeling you lot had something to do with Scintilla's disappearance?
That's it. Blame everyone but yourself.
If I find out you did something to that poor, sweet girl, not even the Golden Rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
Ha! As if I'll be afraid of you, little man.
Why do I feel like he's the boyfriend? Oh, weird. I don't know how old the girl is, but how old the other daughter is, but I feel like for some reason oh, Jesus. Hi.
What were you two talking about?
None of your business.
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man
Take off your
Sentius up on his
helmet,
balcony.
sir.
What's he offering you? Money? Favours? What's your vote worth to him? What else would you be murmuring about on election day? Mark my words, Malleolus is going to be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it? Oh, you just made a big mistake. Malleolus is going to hear all about this, and he'll make you suffer the tortures of Tartarus while you're still alive. Stircum Adite.
I don't know these words. Dying gasp. Is there like a map or?
Isn't the
Fear
great
is
temple
proof of a
majestic?
degenerate mind.
A new face, Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Story.
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?" The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change. Put simply, I tend to the temples, ensure their sanctity is preserved. Why? So that we continue to honor our gods, invite their blessings, and not bring their wrath down upon us, of course. It's vital that we keep them appeased and remain in their good graces.
That's kind of shocking how back then I'm sure there's still people now that believe like in multiple gods, and if you don't, do so much stuff for them, like sacrifice and all this, they're just gonna rain hell upon you. Just crazy.
You really don't know? You are from far away, aren't you?
Yep.
Well, I am one of the priestesses, charged with keeping the sacred flame in Rome's shrine of Vesta burning. I take it you know who Vesta is? Excellent. I'm not entirely sure. But what about you?
Why did you ask
How did
me
you
this?
End up here? Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you? You do? Well then.
Yeah.
Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns. Good. Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
What?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair.
Did some to her.
She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help. But she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you? Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns. Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
So the thing I see is that either someone shook her up, like they're like, no, that's enough out of you. So
Keeping an eye on things, Horatius?
As always, priestess.
Any news about Centilla, Navia, or Kabash?
No sign of any of them, I'm afraid. But we do have a newcomer.
That's me.
Strangely dressed fella. Funny accent, too.
A traveler from a faraway land, then?
Seems that way.
Then let's make sure he feels welcome, shall we?
Of course, priestess.
Hoping she's not a baddie. Can I go in here? Nope. Ooh, fabrics and fine linens.
Greetings and salutations.
Wait.
Greetings. I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I.
I'm white.
And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary.
Thank you. Thank you.
Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail? Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Yeah. Your story.
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the foil. You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all? I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
Fair enough. What did you?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself. I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa. Indeed, I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
I'm trying to think of
anything you like.
I don't really care.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
So, there are many things, it seems, with each story. One I can see is like there's like some kind of like disaster that happens. So like the one guy, like there's apparently a fire and he got trampled on. That guy, he said they were screaming and shouting. So there seems to be some kind of like disaster somewhat, or some kind of chaos that happens before. Honestly, we might all be dead, just like trying to use my detective skills. If we're all like forgetting what happens after the chaos, then we just like wind up down a river with some, maybe it's almost like whoever we find is almost like the ferryman in a way, bring us to maybe like a second chance of like an afterlife maybe, I don't know. I think what I've heard, it sounds like we're all dead. I've only heard like 2 or 3 stories, but it just sounds like a lot of them. I swear to God. It just sounds like some of us, like, we're all dead. How is he busy? Just standing here. Whatever.
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
No, it's Steve.
This area is private. Please leave. Salve.
Hi.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What with Julia's death? I wish we could have met under better circumstances. Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people, that kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek. I'm not sure. It could mean that the Romans, who first started building here, were just copying Greek architecture, which they do all the time. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell. Of course. Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong. It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
If he says a Christian
Strange
slur.
bunch. They insist there's only one God, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule. Let's hope so. Nice to talk to you.
Interesting. So, they call first off, they call Christians cultists. So, we'll probably see if this was religiously used.
Many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh, this is cool. Okay. Wow, okay. Very interesting. Oh, shoot. Definitely very interesting. Ow! Oh, okay. So it is no steel. Okay, so at least we tested it out. Kind of scared the crap out of me too. So do we have to completely restart? If that's true, this is gonna be a long time.